Hi, this is Angel with Angel's Reborn Stalls and More. Today I have little Mr. Finley, and Finley is going to get some new pacifiers. I'm going to make some for him because I do not want to tear his little mouth by trying to force one of this style pacifier in, even though it will fit. It will fit in there to an extent. It does not fit in there good. It doesn't look realistic when it's in there. So I'm going to show you two different style pacifiers that and last time I showed you how I made a little round pacifier. So today I have already cut the nipple off of this one, and I cut the nipple off of this one last time. I'm going to make a flat one, and I'm going to make a round one because I like both. I like using both with him. So again, I'm going to take my pacifier that I use for my mold, and I'm going to show you how I flatten this instead of making it round and getting this look out of the mold. I'm going to show you how to make the flat mold. I can also show you and demonstrate how I would do it using the little MAM piece that I cut off. Both will work. And both will achieve the effect that I want. So this is probably going to be challenging because my glue stick is about to run out, which means I'm going to have to add another glue stick, which is a pain when you're trying to do hot glue all at once. So as I showed you before, we push the nipple inside here like so, and I'm going to put my fingertip right here. And I'm going to lift this up because I want my glue gun to be able to get down in there, and that hinders it from going inside there. So then I'm going to take my glue gun, and I'm going to get my other glue stick ready because I know that it's going to need it. And actually I might just put a little touch of hot glue on it and stick it to the other end so that it will go ahead and work. Hopefully, let's see if we can get that to do so I don't have to stop in the middle of this. It should go ahead and go through. And we're dripping glue, of course. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is put my finger over the end here, and then I'm going to take my glue gun and put it inside till it touches my finger, and then I'm going to slowly roll it around and put the glue in, trying to make sure that we don't get any air bubbles inside the hot glue. And then I'm going to push that out. Oh, nope, it came apart, of course. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this out like so, and slowly fill that up with the hot glue like so. Okay, now if I do it like this and I place it in the water, it's going to make the round one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently pinch this together, and it's hot, mind you. So as I place it into my water, I'm going to gently squeeze the nipple to flatten it out a little bit as it cools. this is going to take a few minutes longer. It's going to take just a little bit longer because I'm squeezing it. It's hot, and I'm squeezing it in the ice water to try to, as you can see, is flattening that and making it not round. It's going to give it more of a MAM shape. Now you still want the round up closer to the where you're going to glue it onto the pacifier, because you want it to have enough surface area to adhere and not pull off. So I don't want to squeeze it. I don't want to squeeze it all the way up. I'm going to leave it wider. I'm going to leave it wider up here and not squeeze it all the way. But as you can see, I have squeezed it, and so it's going to change the shape of the pacifier and make it more like the MAM shape. Now this is not quite hard inside here, so I'm going to set it back in my ice water for just a second. I'm going to dunk it in and then take it out, and then I'm going to push the nipple. I'm going to push on it right here, push it up, and then you can grab it and pull it, which is going to, of course, pull your nipple to your pacifier that you're using for a mold inside out. And you can either push it, or you can take your X-Acto knife or a pencil or whatever and push that back right side out. And as you can see, we now have a flattened shape instead of, let's see, we'll take it back a little bit so my camera focuses, maybe, and it flattens it. Don't worry about that little piece of glue hanging there, because I'll take that off. Pick this up, see if I can get it to come in on that a little bit better. Nope. But it's flattened now. It's more like the MAM shape, which is more like this shape. Now, the other way you can achieve this, of course, is by using this. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up on the MAM nipple, like so. I know that's hard to see, but I'm going to push up on it so that when I put my glue gun inside there, I can fill that hole well. So I'm going to put that in there, because the idea is to do this and not get any air bubbles. Air bubbles are a pain. They make it look funny, and they weaken the structure of the nipple if you have the air bubbles in it. So we try not to do the air bubbles if at all possible. Now, do like that, and fill it up. As you can see, I don't have any large air bubbles in there. So now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to drop it into my cold water, my ice water, to cool it off. Just going to drop it right in there for just a second. And while that's cooling, I'm going to grab my pliers, because sometimes it is easier if I have a pair of pliers to grab. Oh, please excuse my dog. Apparently there's somebody at the door. Oh, he hears something. Okay, now I'm going to, let's see, is it dry? No, it's not quite hard enough. So I'm going to put it back in there. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I have ice in here, and, oops, and it fell down to the bottom, of course. I have ice in here because the ice water will cool that and make it harden a lot faster than if you have to sit and just let it. I mean, you can sit and just let it get hard naturally, but it works so much better if you have some ice water right here. And as you can see, it's starting to become a little less clear. which means that it's gotten harder. And it's almost ready to pull out. Let me put it back in there for just a few seconds more. Now, pulling this out will be a little more difficult than pulling it out of the other because there is no pacifier around it to hold on to. So what I do is I take my fingernails and I put them in there and I gently pull that back, and I do it on the other side and I pull it back and away on the edges. Make sure that it's pulled away from the, and then what you can do, because it's a lot harder to try to pull out, is roll that down just a little bit so that you can get your pliers in. And of course I don't have my needle nose pliers, I've got my big bulky pliers, so it's going to be a little bit of a pain to grab a hold of it. But you grab it and let's see, need my needle nose. Not sure where they ran off to. Alright. Actually, I might be able to just pop this out anyways. Okay. Let's see. It's slippery because it's wet. Alright. I've about got it low enough that I can. It's harder to do this when you're trying to do this for the camera. It's easier to do this when I'm not doing it for a camera. Anyways, so we take my pliers and grab a hold of, no I'm not, grab a hold of the glue and pull. It will come out. Maybe it will come out. Again, like I said, I'm used to using my needle nose pliers to make that come out. So I'm just going to push it out with my fingers. There we go. Because I've stretched it up. Okay, but here we go. As you can see, it even has the little MAM stamp on it. As you can see, MAM. MAM. And then you take your scissors and you cut it off so that it's nice and neat. Let's see, we'll cut it right there, like so. And then you can take your pacifier, which you're going to use, which you've already removed the nipple from. And again, when you put the hot glue in, you want to make sure you put the hot glue inside the holes and around. Hold up, this has got an edge. Take my X-Acto knife, because apparently when I did this I didn't pull it quite tight enough. So you want that silicone to be out of there. There we go. Because you want to be able to get the glue inside and around there so it's got something to hold it to. So then you take your hot glue gun, and you're going to put glue into those holes. And you're going to make sure you put it good and around it so you get a good layer of glue around it, like so. And then you're going to take your pacifier that you just, or your nipple that you just created, and you're going to place it on top, right where the nipple would sit, like so. And you're going to hold it there for a sec, and then to make it better, Drop it in your ice water and let it sit for a few minutes to get cool and hardened. That is the best way it's the best way to harden it quickly. And then you take it out. It's nice and firm. You can pull this extra glue off. Take your little X-Acto knife, and I'm going to cut that little chunk off right there. Nope. Maybe. Don't wish to cut my fingers. So I just take that, cut that off like so. And now you have a pacifier. And I'm going to show you how this fits in this mouth. So now I'm going to take this over here. And here's Mr. Finley again. And here's his new passy. And voila. It fits beautifully in his mouth. It's not too big. It fits nicely in there. Just push it in, and it will stay beautifully in there. And it looks more like it looks very realistic. You don't have to worry about it popping out of your silicone's mouth. And it's smaller so that it fits a lot easier in their mouth rather than trying to push this. You can see this is too big to be trying to push in there, and I don't want to tear his mouth. And if you look, you can see where this would fit much better. And you can always put a little bit of powder on and then push it in if you have any difficulty. It's pretty slick, so it slides in there pretty easily. Now, I'll show you we'll put the other one that I made, we'll put it on. I have another pacifier here, so let me put my camera set back, and I'll show you how we'll glue it on too, and then you can see how I've got another pacifier here that I've already trimmed, and I will take my scissors and cut this neatly off so I've got a neat surface like so. And if you're concerned, you can take this piece and place it in their mouth just to make sure that it's going to fit in there okay, which it does. It's got plenty of room in there. Now, again, you're going to take the pacifier that you've cut the nipple off, and you want to make sure you get the glue all in here so that it holds. So I'm going to take my trusty glue gun, and I'm going to fill those little holes up first, and then I'm going to go around it. Now I will also show you how I make pacifiers for the little mini 5, 6, 7 inch babies. And you take your glue or your thing and you put that right on the center there like that. You hold it there for a minute. Make sure it's right where you want it. Okay. So it's nice and straight. And then drop it into ice water for a couple seconds to get that glue hardened up fast. And again, you can let it sit, but I find it works so much better if you go ahead and just drop it in and it'll harden right up. And then, where'd my little towel go that I had for drying? Oh, there it is. just dry that off. Again, you can just cut these little tidbits off, your little pieces of glue that you're gonna have those little spider web glue. I don't care how neat I am with hot glue, it makes a spider web every time. You can either cut it off with your X-Acto knife, or if you're good enough, you can do it with your fingernail like so. And now let's try this out in Finley's mouth and see how it does. Okay, so take Finley right here. Got my little passy. As you can see, it's just right width for his mouth. It's not going to be too big. Push it right in there like so. And he's got his little passy that fits perfectly in his little mouth. You see his little, well, it's kind of hard to see in there, but there you go. You can see that it fits in his mouth. And it slips out nice and easy. This one actually is kind of maybe a little on the smaller side. I think I like the other size better for him. But this size will fit on, if I want to use it on Paisley. I'll get Miss Paisley over here. It will work on her mouth. Let's see here. Okay, so we have Miss Paisley, and so the smaller one will actually work beautifully. Granted, she's not a mama's boy, but you know, for purposes of demonstration, let's put that right in there, and see that it fits nicely in her mouth. It's actually the perfect size for her mouth. You don't have to worry about tearing, because we definitely don't want to tear her mouth. So we just slip that right in there like that. And ta-da! We have a pacifier that fits a lot better than the real pacifiers. Okay, well, thank you for watching. This was Angel with Angels, Reborns, Dolls, and more. Have a nice day.